The Blip, also known as the Decimation, was a pivotal event in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which had a profound impact on its characters and storylines. At the end of Avengers Infinity War, Thanos used the Infinity Stones to wipe out half of all life across the universe, forever changing the MCU. Hi everyone, Miss Catherine Mori here with Geek, talking about how the Blip impacted the world and characters of the MCU. The Blip had both short-term and long-term effects. To start, the immediate days and weeks after caused widespread panic and chaos as half of the world's population suddenly disappeared. Families were torn apart, and governments struggled to maintain order in the face of such a catastrophic event. This was depicted in the post-credit scenes of Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, along with the opening scenes of Avengers Endgame. We see a helicopter crash and civilians panicking just as Nick Fury disappears. And we see San Francisco's desolation as the emergency broadcast echoes from televisions. The Avengers are horrified as they monitor the ever-increasing count of vanished persons, which include their friends and fellow heroes. We can assume based off of these scenes that there were more victims beyond just who vanished. Car, train, and plane crashes were likely in the hundreds of thousands, if not millions. World leaders and members of various governments surely disappeared, likely leaving behind power vacuums and destabilized nations. Hope surely diminished as people realized that half of their heroes were gone, and likely disappeared entirely after the Avengers' mission to retrieve the stones from Thanos failed. But one of the most significant impacts of the Blip was the emotional toll it took on our heroes. They all lost friends, family members, or loved ones, and they were left to grapple with their grief and trauma, along with the guilt of having failed to save the universe. This was particularly evident in Tony Stark, who was haunted by the loss of Peter Parker, and Clint Barton, who had no clue about Thanos and turned around to suddenly find his entire family gone. But even after Thanos' snap was reversed and the Titan was defeated, those who returned found that their lives were forever changed. Let's start with Peter Parker. After being dusted in Infinity War, Peter returned to life 5 years later in Endgame, only to witness Tony die right in front of him. In Spider-Man Far From Home, Peter struggles to come to terms with this loss. Fortunately for him, Aunt May, Ned, and MJ also blipped and returned along with him, so he didn't lose his family or friends just yet. With the loss of so many heroes, Peter's life took a turn for the worst when the task of saving the world fell on his shoulders. He was manipulated by Quentin Beck, leading to his identity being revealed, which then led to the whole multiversal debacle. Wanda, on the other hand, was left completely alone after Endgame, grieving for the loss of Vision. She created a reality for herself in Westview, New Jersey, where she was married to Vision and they had 2 children together. As she grappled with her grief and trauma, Wanda eventually brought down the Hex, but was corrupted by the Darkhold. This led to her hunting America Chavez across the multiverse. Then we have Sam Wilson, aka the Falcon. Sam was one of the heroes who was snapped out of existence by Thanos. Sam then discovered that Steve decided to stay in the past and live a long life, returning to 2023 as an old man. Steve passed on the mantle of Captain America to Sam, but in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we see Sam struggling with the weight of this responsibility and trying to live up to Steve's legacy. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier may actually be the best exploration of the MCU post-Blip. There were so many people displaced across the world as a result of the Vanished returning, leading to migrants losing their jobs and being evicted from their new homes as the original owners wanted their lives back. The Global Repatriation Council was founded as a response, which then led to the formation of the Flag Smashers. The Blip created a difficult situation for everyone, as there was no simple solution to anything anymore. Who owned a home? The owners who moved in during the 5 years, or the original vanished owners? What about marriages where one spouse disappeared and their widow remarried? Did children who were orphaned by the Blip go back to their original parents or stayed with their adopted parents? Did vanished world leaders resume their role, or did the newly elected leaders stay in their position? As we dive deeper into the multiverse saga, it's unlikely we'll see more stories exploring the Blip, but the effects that this pivotal event had on the MCU are undeniable. It was a moment of great tragedy and loss, but it also paved the way for new alliances, friendships, and adventures. For more MCU and fandom content, make sure to follow Geek and hit that notification bell so you never miss a single video. I'm Miss Catherine Morris signing off, and remember to stay geeky.